Hi, this is Sweet June. I'm coming back at you with another very intriguing video topic, something that will put something on your mind, educate you, and give you something to think about. This is the video I've been telling you that I was going to be doing, that I was going to do. I've been talking about over the last 3 weeks. I'm a bit of a procrastinator. Anyway, I want to give you some interesting facts about black single motherhood. I spent many years being a single mom, um, many years being a single mother, and I know a lot of the uh, things that I had to endure all the years that I was a single mom. The big thing that I had to endure was poverty. Being in poverty most of my singlehood journey, and not having that, just having raising children on one income is very, very difficult, particularly when you're a black woman, and I'm going to give you some of the reasons why. Um, but I'm very passionate about that topic because I have spent many years as a single mother, and I know how detrimental because of the experiences that I've experienced as a single mother, and a lot of experiences the other black women that are single mothers, a lot of things that they have to experience. I know how detrimental it is. And so um, there are white single mothers of other races. But right now, I want to focus in on black single mothers because black single mothers have to deal with stuff that uh, single mothers of other races don't necessarily have to deal with. Our situation is unique, and because of a lot of other factors involved in just being a single mother. And I want to give young ladies some food for thought. Um, if your mother's on here and you have young daughters, hey, let her look at this video. Particularly if they're approaching the preteen years, let them look at this video. That will educate them. You can make it a teachable moment and educate them on the things that they're gonna have to endure being a single mother. As I've stated in a lot of my other videos, I would not recommend any black woman being a single mother, um, because um, it's a lot of things. First of all, uh, racism is still at an all-time high. Um, it's very detrimental to our children when our children are raised in single-parent homes. Um, a lot of we need strong black families. I mean, when it comes down to it, we need strong black families with a, a black father and a black mother, um, because of because there is a lot of racism and a lot of things that we're up against as black people. We need strong black families. Strong black families are needed, and it is not. I would not recommend any black woman to become a single mother. If you can avoid being a single mother, avoid it. Now, I know some black women have gotten married and, then they got divorced. They had kids and they got divorced. So they became a single mother by default. That was the case for my mother. My mother married my father. She had 3 kids. She had my oldest sister. Then she married um, my father, and she had 3 more kids. And she was married to my dad for 10 years. And my dad decided that, and I love my dad, and I forgave my dad before he passed away. However, it is what it is. He decided that he wanted to seek greener pastures, so to speak, and go be with another woman. And go help another woman. I don't know if he help. He has stepkids, so it'd be safe to say that help another woman with her children. And when he left my mother, he also left his role as a father as well. So I was only 5 years old when my father left. So I don't remember anything before the age of 5. So I don't really, my oldest sister knows everything, and I kind of have to go talk to her to find out what happened before he left because I don't remember anything before the age of 5. I don't remember him being there. Literally, I don't. I'm drawing a blank. Only thing I remember about my dad is him walking away. And, he came to visit. Maybe I can count on one hand the times that he came to visit. And that's about it. And so that it is what it is. So my mother became a single mother by default. She didn't had no plans of being a single mother. She became a single mother by default. So that's the case for a lot of women. They, get married and, hope, when you get married, you don't get married with the thought of getting a divorce and you have children and you hope that the man stays there to help you raise the children until they're grown. But some men, a lot of men, they decide they want to make a family somewhere else, or they decide they want to get another woman. They tired of you, and they want to move on to another woman. A lot of men do that. So as a result, a lot of black women become single mothers by default. Every black woman's situation is unique. Not every black woman. Every black woman, everybody got a story, and everybody's situation is different. Not all black women became single moms because they had relationships. Some black women have had relationships, and they thought the relationship was going to lead to marriage, and they had a baby as a result, and whatever. And sometimes that happens 2 or 3 times. Or more, you get into a relationship and you hope this is a sure thing, and you think you're going to marry this guy and you guys going to have a family, and then things don't work out, and then bam. Or some black women might have been engaged and um they were going to get married to the guy, but then the guy started clowning on them or whatever, and then they had to dump him, and so they wind up being a single mother that way. you know so every situation is unique. um what renders black women into single motherhood. But I say that if you, of course, I'm a big advocate of waiting till marriage to have sex, because that's the way Jehovah God wants us to do it. And so I'm a big abs- uh, advocate of abstaining into marriage, because if you don't abstain until marriage, then you're putting yourself at a higher risk of becoming a single mother. If you got married and the man left you, became a single mother, well, you can't. It is what it is. But when you go out and you have sex outside of marriage, you're putting yourself at a higher risk of becoming a single mother. I mean, even if you use protection, what if that protection fails or it's not used properly, whatever the situation is, then you're putting yourself at a higher risk. Sex leads to pregnancy. If you're a fertile woman, you know that there's a possibility that you can get pregnant. So when you have sex outside of marriage, you're increasing those odds of becoming a single mother. So as I've stated in all my other videos, I'm a big, um, I push abstinence, um, um, abstaining from sex into marriage until you get married. Everybody know life offers no guarantees, but like I said, if you have sex outside of marriage, you are increasing those chances of becoming a single mother. This is something that you want to avoid at all costs. Okay, if you can prevent it, prevent it. If you can prevent from, if you're a black woman and you can prevent from being a single mother, by all means, do everything you can to prevent it. Because I'm getting ready to state some reasons why you should prevent it, and I'm getting ready to give you some information as what um, things that black single mothers are up against. Okay, black single mothers. first of all, are most likely to live in poverty. Statistically, um, I wrote numbers down, but this is not a 10 reasons, whatever. This is not nothing like that. But black women black women are most likely, particularly black single mothers, are most likely to live in poverty. Among all the races of women, statistically, black women are most likely to live in poverty. And the reasons why that we are most likely to live in poverty is because statistically, first of all, there's institutionalized racism. Second of all, when we go into the workforce, statistically, now this is statistically, we make less money than our white counterparts. Black women statistically make less money than our white counterparts. We don't make as much money. Okay. So I think it's first white men make the most, then there's black men come second, then there's white women. Black women are on the bottom of the totem pole as far as the salary. We make the less money of all those groups statistically. Even if you go get a college education and you go get a job with your degree, you are going to make less money than your white counterparts. But you'll be at a better advantage because you are making more money, but you're still going to make less money than your white counterpart. So, excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold. So that's one of the reasons why we are most likely to live in poverty. Racism is a factor. Institutionalized racism, that's a factor. Uh, and we are most likely to live in poverty. So, because we're most likely to live in poverty, we're most likely 9 times out of 10, we're going to struggle. 9 times out of 10, we are going to struggle um, raising our children outside of marriage. And as I've stated in other videos, if you do not make six figures, you should not have children because uh, you have to make six figures literally to raise children, to raise them and to be able to afford to provide adequate housing for them in a fairly safe neighborhood, buy clothes, provide medical expenses, toys, food, shelter, adequate shelter, all those things. In some cases, education, childcare, all those things play a role. You got to throw all that stuff in there. So, as I stated in some of my other videos, if you don't make six figures, then don't even you shouldn't even consider having a child. You are not financially ready to bring a child into this world. I'm just keeping it 100. Uh, and it's hard. It's very difficult of a woman of any race to raise a child off of one income. And we all know that little child support here and there is not going to get it. You need more money than that. Unless you had a baby by a man that is a millionaire, and then you're gonna get a big fat child support check. But if you don't have a baby by a millionaire or a man that has lots of money, then you're not gonna be getting a whole lot of money in child support if you get it at all. But then that's for any race of woman. But then when you're a black woman, it's really detrimental because you are like statistically most likely to be in poverty. Uh, when you are a single mother and you're living in poverty, 9 times out of 10, you're raising your child in an environment that's not safe. As they want to call the hood, that they want to call the black neighborhood. That's what they call it, the hood. Uh, they have one in just about every city. You're facing the possibility of having to raise your children in one of those very precarious neighborhoods. And so, and that's another video. I'm not going to talk about all that because that's a whole nother video. But that's one of the reasons there. And another reason is black women have to deal with discrimination. Black women have to deal with racial discrimination, um, particularly in the workforce, um, which puts her at a higher risk of being unemployed. If a black woman has to deal with racism, I know in my experiences, I've had to leave a couple jobs because of racial discrimination. And when I left both of those jobs, um, I had to take a cut in pay, which lowered my income. When I left both of the jobs because of racism, I had to move on to another job. And when I moved on to another job, I made less money than what I was making on the job that I left. So that plunged me. The first job, I was working at a county nursing home, and I experienced some racism, and I had to leave on account of that, and among some other factors and other reasons. I was making a little over $10 an hour, but when I left, I went all the way down to $7 an hour because I had to take at that point I had to take whatever I could get. So it at that particular time, I wasn't on food stamps. I wasn't. I think I was getting child care assistance, and that was it. I wasn't on food stamps or anything like that. Okay, but when I left that job, I had to go back on food stamps because my income lowered because I had to take a lesser paying job. Second instance where I had to leave another job because of this discrimination. Uh, Once again, I was making over $9 an hour when I left. I was working at assisted living. I left that job and went to work at the daycare. When I started working at the daycare, I was making only $8 an hour. So in both cases, I had to take a cut in pay. Okay, I had to go to a lesser paying job. So I basically literally had to start all over, which plunged me basically deeper into poverty. And that's a lot of things that a lot of black women have to deal with. Um, and that's in my experiences. When you're dealing with racial discrimination on the job, and people say, well, you need to sue them. Well, that's easier said than done. Because first of all, you got to be able to prove it. It's hard to prove. And discrimination in the workplace is hard to prove, and they know it is. So sometimes it's just easier just to move on and get another job and go on with your life. So that's with another thing that puts black single mothers at a higher risk of being in poverty is dealing with racial discrimination. Sometimes if you're dealing with racial discrimination on the job is real. I don't care what nobody say, it's real. Okay. When you're dealing with that on the job, you got to bounce. You got to bounce because either you gonna quit or they gonna fire you, whatever. If you get fired, same situation. You might have to go take something that's lesser paying just so you can put food on the table and feed your kids, and provide shelter and everything. So that also makes black women and black single moms at a higher risk of poverty, living in poverty. Discrimination is really a major issue on the job. That's another video. I'm not going to really go into all that. Uh, Black single mothers are statistically most likely to be the head of household. Black mothers are statistically most likely to be the head of household. You know, unless you have, uh, uh, I'm not going to say baby daddy, but unless you have the father of your child is very, very active in your child's life, they take they you guys co-parent like on a 50-50 basis. If you're co-parenting on a 50-50 basis, then you can say that uh, like some YouTubers on here said, well, I'm not a single mother because, and that's an interesting point. I might do another video on that. They say I'm not a single mother because the father of my child is very active in my child's life, and they take on a 50% of the responsibility of our child. So, and I never thought about it that way before, but that is a good point. If the father is taking 50% of the responsibility of the child, he's got the child just as much as you do. He's paying just as much as you paying or whatever to help with the support of the child. Then it's safe to say that you're technically really not a single mother, because a single mother is someone that's doing it on her own without much of a support system, without much help from the fathers. That's technically what a single mother is. But if you got 50% help or more help from coming from the father, then you could say, well, I'm not really a single mother. So that's an interesting point, but that's a whole nother video. But black women are most likely, statistically most likely, to be the head of household. And as I stated in other videos, um, when you're raising children, black children without a father, it's very detrimental for black males and for black females. It's very, very essential, very, very important that black males have a father in the home. Now, I'm going to make this a whole nother video. I'll state some of the reasons why young black males, the importance of young black males having that strong father figure in the home, and things that happen to them, and things that happens as a result of them not having that strong male head. That's a whole nother video. Um, I'm not going to really go into that right now, but it is detrimental to black children because of our black communities being in the shape that they're in. Our black communities being in the shape that they're in, um, and most of our black children are being raised in those black communities, those at risk black communities. Um, Black children, is very, very important that black children have that strong male head. They need that because of institutionalized racism and the high risk factors going on in the black community. They need that. They need that. It's vital. So when black children are not being raised in a two-parent home, they're at a higher risk of a lot of things. Statistically, when a black child is raised in a single parent home, the graduation rate is statistically the graduation rate is lower among black children that are raised in single parent homes. The teen pregnancy rate among young black females that are raised in single parent homes are higher. It's a lot of risk factors there. It's a lot. It's really detrimental, and because when you're a black single mom and you're trying to raise children by yourself, something is going to be lacking. If you don't have a male head there, a lot of things. I won't say something. I'll say a lot of things is going to be lacking. It's a lot of things that's going to be lacking. You could be the best mother that you could possibly be, but a lot of things are going to be lacking if you don't have that male head, if you don't have that strong male head, or you don't have that strong co-parent situation that I just talked about earlier. Um, it's going to be a lot of things that's going to be lacking. And that is in the best of situations. Being the best mom. I mean, I thought, I like to think I was a pretty good mom. And I was for the most part, but I fell short, and a lot of things were lacking because I didn't have that strong male head from my sons. I didn't have that strong father figure from my sons, and they needed that. And now I'm seeing the manifestation of that as they are adults now. I'm seeing the manifestation of that now, and I'm talking about that in a whole nother video. I'm not going to really go into that on this video. That's a whole nother video. But our black children are at a higher risk of a lot of things when they're raised in single parent homes. I cannot express this more. We need strong black families with a black man and a black woman. We need that. We need that for our children to thrive. And our children are our future. So we got to take a vested interest in our children because our children are our future. And another reason, black women's, black single mothers are less likely to get married. Black single mothers are less likely to get married. Statistically, in the 1950s, the marital rate. I was looking at this not too long ago. 1950s and probably 60s. The marital rate for black women was a whopping 50%. 50% in the 1950s. Black women's marital rate was 50%. Now our marital rates is only 30%. Black women's marital rates are only 30%. Wow, that's deep. I mean, I was looking at that, I was reading that, I was like, wow, that's deep. So, statistically, black women, we are less likely to get married. So, if you have a child outside of marriage, without a marriage mate, your likelihood of being a single mom for the duration of that child's life is very, very high. Very, 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 very high. Because of our marital rates being so low. And that is including the black women that don't have children, that make six figures. They have a good paying job. They don't live in poverty. Uh, I've read articles on black women, successful black women that don't have children. So that they're included in that. I mean, their marital rates are low as well. It doesn't matter what walk of life you're from as a black woman. Uh, you know, most likely, 9 times out of 10, most likely, uh, you may be single for a very long time. So if you are a single mother, if you're a black single mother, the chances of you being single for the duration of your child or children's life is very, 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 very high. I know, like I said, as I stated, if you check out my online dating tips video, and I said when I first started my online dating journey, my goal was to look for a husband for me and a father figure to my two sons, and that didn't happen. It didn't go down like that. And both of my sons are grown, and I'm still single. So there you go. Didn't know that I was going to be in this thing for the long haul. I was hoping and praying that I wouldn't be in there for the long haul, but at some point along my journey, single mother journey, I had to face realities and come to terms with the fact that yeah, I guess I'm in this thing for the duration. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yes, you are less likely statistically. Black women are less likely to get married. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You guys know I don't sugarcoat on here. That I'm gonna give it to you straight up, no chaser. Another reason black mothers are more likely, uh, like I said a few minutes ago, statistically, the graduation rates of black children being raised in single parent homes are higher. Black children that are raised in two parent homes are more likely to graduate than black children. I know in my personal experience, my oldest son did not graduate. He eventually winded up getting his GED, but he did not graduate from high school. My youngest son almost didn't graduate. He got out. I didn't really go into all that, but yes, I was very strategic. I had to be very strategic. To make a long story short, I had to be very strategic at the last minute. I mean, it was down to the wire that I had to hurry up and make some moves to hurry up and get him graduated because he kind of melt down in the middle of the school year, middle of the senior year. He melt down, he shut down, and so I had to, strategically do some things to ensure that he. I'll tell that story another time. That Well, there was an alternative. To make a long story short, there's an alternative school next to the high school. I had to hurry up and get him in there because he didn't have enough credits to graduate from the high school. So I had to hurry up and get him in the alternative high school 3 months before it was time for him to graduate because he completely shut down. Just shut down. So I had to hurry up and get him in there so he could graduate. So he graduated by the skin of his teeth. Okay. But he made it. So, and that's with me going to college, leading by example, which spent many years in college, leading by example, showing my sons, not just telling them, but showing them through my actions the importance of education. You know, I went to school for many, 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 many years. I went to college for many, many, many years while I was raising my sons. They didn't still didn't get the memo. And I love to learn and I love education. I love to learn. I have a passion for learning and I love to learn. But my sons don't share that same passion, unfortunately. So, and that's in the best of circumstances. Okay. I went to school, I went to college for many years, try to lead by example. My oldest son still didn't graduate. My youngest son almost didn't graduate. There you go. So the graduation rate for black children being raised in single black parent homes is very low, very low, very low. Statistically, it's very low. Like I said, it goes back to what I was saying. A lot of things gonna be lacking when you don't have that strong family male head in the home. A lot of things is going to be lacking. It's so many things is going to be lacking. It puts so much. A lot of things are on the black woman's shoulders when she's the head of the household. Because we wasn't made for that. Jehovah God didn't create black women to be the head. We just wasn't created for that. It's not natural. It's not the natural course of things. And even a black there's black single fathers out here. It's not natural for them either. It's not natural for them to raise children on their own. It's not natural for anybody. It's not natural for males. It's not natural for females. But black women is more detrimental, and black women have to experience sexism as well. I didn't mention that. Black women are considered double minorities. Black females, black, and then females. So black women have to experience sexism as well. So yeah, it's a lot of things that's really detrimental. Black single mothers, um, yeah, I put that on here twice. I wrote that down. Most likely to not get married, less likely to get married, and so it's a lot of things that's going to be lacking um, when black women. It's hard for single mothers across the board, but black women, it's very detrimental for black women because of those things that I talked about. Sexism, racism, and a lot of sexism. A lot of the sexism is coming from our own men in our own communities. Black women are expected to be the head of the black community, but as I stated, that's not God's order. That's not God's order. God did not uh, ordain black women or any woman to be the head of anything. You know, um, God created man first, then he created Adam. He took Adam's rib, then he created Eve. So he made man to be the head. So the black man is supposed to be the head, and they know they're supposed to be the head. And that's the order of things. That's God's uh, divine order of things and how things are supposed to go. And because we are the weaker vessel, we are the weaker vessel. This strong black woman theory is so overrated. It's so overrated. It's so overrated. If we're strong, it's because we have to be. If we're strong, it's because us this marinating on that last night at work. If us black women are strong, it's because we have to be. We don't have a choice. We're strong by default. I'll say that. We're strong by default. We're strong because we have to be. We don't have a choice. when you're in a situation to where you don't have a choice, then it is what it is. I mean, and that's been like that for black women since the beginning of time. That dates all the way back to slavery when the slave masters broke up the families, and so the families broke up families and sold family members off to different plantations, separating black women from their children, separating black women from the men, their husbands and things like that. Black women had to learn since the beginning of time. Black women have had to learn to be strong. We've had to learn to be. That goes all the way back to our ancestors. Okay? We've had to learn. You know, my great grandmother had to be strong. My grandmother had to be strong because when I talked to my mom, my grandmother was a single mother. She was raised in Chicago, and my grandmother was a single mother because my mother's father, my grandfather, was not there, so like he was supposed to be. So my grandmother was a single mom. So she had to be strong. My mother had to be strong because after my father left, she had to raise 4 kids on her own. Okay. So my mother had to be strong. My aunt was a single mom. She had 2 sons. So she had to raise children on her own. Uh, and her and my mother, my mother was very instrumental in helping my aunt with her 2 sons, because my aunt was in the service and then she was in the reserves. So my mother was very instrumental in helping my aunt out, and being a great support system for my aunt with my 2 cousins. So my aunt had to be strong. My mother had to be strong. Um, in turn, I had to be strong, you know, and so it's so on and so forth. I mean, that's in black families all across the board. I mean, black women have always had to be strong, and not because we choose to be, it's because we have to be. We don't have no other choice. And so now, some of the things that I've stated, black women most likely not getting married, black women statistically being the head of, most likely be head of household and things like that. Um, yeah, we have to be strong. So this strong black woman, I mean, but we got the same emotions. The problem with that strong black woman theory is we have the same vulnerabilities that any other woman have because we are the weaker vessel. Spiritually speaking, we are the weaker vessel. Then, we are, mentally, we are weaker. Well, black women are mentally stronger, but emotionally, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we have to deal with some of the same things as women that other races of women have to deal with because at the end of the day, we're still women. Okay. We're black, but I always say I'm a woman that just happens to be black. That's what I say. You know, I'm a woman first before I'm black. I'm just a woman that happens to be black. So it's the same thing. We got to deal with the same things. And so if we're strong, uh, it's because we have to be, not because I don't walk around with my chest stuck out saying I'm a strong black woman. And I know there's a lot of black women that holler that. It's because it's a defense mechanism. That's what it is. They say that because it's a defense mechanism. Um, the truth of the matter is we need our men. I'm gonna do a whole nother video talking about that, but we need our men. We need strong black families. We need it. We need it. We are in danger of becoming a permanent underclass. Dr. Claude Anderson wrote a book. I can't. I had this book, but I loaned it out, and the person didn't give it back to me. Um, but if you get a chance to read that book, he's talking about that book. Royce Watkins talks about that book, and he's talked to him. He states the reason why we are in danger of becoming a permanent underclass. Black people, we are in danger of becoming a permanent underclass. And it's because We don't stick together as black people. And, you know, our communities across the board, in every city across the board, is in shambles. Um, and because black women are such a high expectations are placed on black women, and because we were not designed to be the head, well, that's why our communities are are the way they are, and that's why we're in the situation we are in, and our men are not held at the accountability the accountability that they should be held at. But like I said, that's a whole nother video too. So yeah, it's very detrimental, and we are up against a lot. We need strong black families, and our children are dying out here. Our children are dying. Another young man got killed in my city the other day. That's black communities in every city, from small, medium to large, across the board, all across America. It's really sad. It's really sad. And so children being black children being raised in single parent homes is not a good situation. It's not a good situation for the children. It is not a good situation for the women. It's detrimental all the way around. It's not a good situation for the community or society as a whole, because some children grow up to, do this and that and the other. And it affects society as a whole. So we need strong black families. I can't emphasize that more. We need our men. We need our black men. Whole nother video. Stay tuned. I just wanted to shed some light on some things, give you something to marinate, meditate on, to think about. Uh, so stay tuned. I got some more video topics coming up. Um, make sure you like. I need you guys to share this video. This is a good video. I need you guys to share this video. Share this video. Please share it. A lot of people need to get this information. So I need you guys to share this video. If you can share this video, that would be great. I need you to like. I need likes, because I think that helps the video to get, that puts the video out more. It helps the video to get noticed more. So yeah, I need you guys to like, and if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. My current subscribers, I need you guys to start watching my videos more. Um, if you subscribe to my channel, I'm assuming that you like my content. So hit that notification bell. So every time I do a video, it will pop up and you will be notified. I know some of the people that I've hit notification bells on, it's not popping up on my stuff. And I have to actually go to their channel to find out if they got new content. So YouTube be doing too much. They be doing too much. They be messing up. So, well, hit the notification bell anyway. Then maybe it's because I got a lot of people that I got on my notification bell. So maybe they're just kind of alternating which people to let me know about. I don't know. But anyway, hit that notification bell. So I need to get my viewers up. I need you guys to help me to get to the 1,000 um, subscribe mark. I like to, like I said, I love doing YouTube. I enjoy doing YouTube, but at the same time, it would be nice to get a little revenue. It'd be nice to make some money on here. Be great, be a blessing, and it would be great. So I need you guys to help me get up there so I can apply for monetization again. That would be great. Okay, uh, stay tuned. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. Uh, I got my email address. I'll put that in the description box. You can hit me up on Facebook and Twitter under Sweet June. Okay, stay tuned. Peace and love, and have a blessed Monday. This is Sweet June.